Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen, founder of Holistic Pole Yoga, 52 poses all on the ground, and today we're in the kitchen. Every week I share recipes that are easy to do for busy moms right at home that are even on a budget. These are recipes that are easy to make on a budget, quick to clean up, and healthy or healthier to feed your kids. And I'm gonna show you easy ways to veganize common recipes so that you don't feel like you're missing out on flavor or taste or anything easily going vegan. So if you're egg-free or dairy-free, Holistic Yoga is the place for you to be. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when I post the next video, you are notified. I recently hosted a housewarming party for about 50 people, and I had a bunch that I was cooking. It was just me cooking, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough time to cook everything, so I wanted to make everything simple to make, and I had a request for this cake recipe that I made. It just took me a few minutes to whip it up, and so that's what I'm gonna show you today. Y'all know I love Aldi, and I got this gluten-free cake recipe there. I love their gluten-free stuff at Aldi, and I'm gonna show you how to veganize this cake recipe. It does call for 3 eggs, but today we're gonna use some simple tricks to replace the egg right here. Now this recipe does call for 3 eggs, but today I'm gonna show you some simple tricks on how to replace these eggs and not lose consistency, texture, or flavor. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first step is to preheat your oven for 350. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this gluten-free cake mix. Today we're gonna use our KitchenAid stand mixer. Love this mixer. Okay, so the first ingredient is 3/4 cup of milk. And we're gonna use this almond milk, again from Aldi. 3/4 cup. Pour that in. 1/2 cup of softened butter. So I did just move home to Walmart Country and they didn't have plant-based butter at Aldi. So I went over to the Walmart and I got this Country Crock plant butter because it's in a stick and I like that. And I went ahead and softened it. And you want to do softened, not melted butter. So one trick that I did with this butter is I put it on the stove for just like a minute. It started to melt it, and then I stuck it in the freezer for just another minute, and then it got it nice and soft because you don't want it to be completely melted. And now we're going to do our 2 teaspoons of gluten-free vanilla extract. I definitely think it's important to get real vanilla extract. Okay, so now we're going to do our egg replacement, and we're going to start with 1/2 of a banana. And I do prefer the bananas that are a little brown. I'll do that 1/2 banana, maybe a little tiny bit more. I'll either eat that other part of the banana or I'll stick it in the freezer for smoothies for later on. And to make it super simple, I just got this container of applesauce. It's already measured out. Of course, you can make your own applesauce, but just 1 container works. And then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. To 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And then we're going to mix this up. Start slow so that the juice doesn't get everywhere. Go a little faster. Okay, perfect. And now that has been beaten for 2 minutes. And instead of using spray, I'm gonna take the rest of that butter, use my hand. This is some more of that avocado butter. Gonna shake it to make it even. We're gonna stick this in the oven for 46 to 50 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started on our frosting while we're waiting on that to cook and to cool down. Okay, so for the frosting, we're gonna use unrefined organic coconut oil. And I'll be sure to drop the ingredients and the directions in the description down below for you. And you wanna do the softened coconut oil. I keep my house pretty warm, so usually my coconut oil is pretty soft. And you do not want to do this if you're gonna serve this cake outside because the frosting will melt. So first we're gonna stir this up, really get this nice and soft. I did not realize that my camera died, and I went ahead and started adding powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and some almond milk. You really want to watch the consistency of your frosting. That's what really makes a good frosting, is the consistency. Okay, looks like it is done. Okay, so now we're back with our chilled cake. I just went and got my daughter from school, and when I came back, the frosting was a little bit of a weird consistency. So I went ahead and added about a half a cup of more powdered sugar and about a tablespoon more of milk. So when you're making frosting, it's best just to kind of keep blending it up until you really like the consistency of it. Now, on a personal note, I just went through a separation, a divorce after 13 years. I used to own a gluten-free bakery where I had all of the baking tools known to man, but today I don't. I don't have my offset spatula or any of my tools, no piping bags, no nothing. So today I'm just a mom in the kitchen making this cake for my very hungry daughter who's very patiently waiting in the other room. So I want to remind you, when you're making cakes at home, if you're a mom making cakes at home, it's not about what it looks like when you're frosting it. It doesn't have to be a perfect cake. This isn't Cake Boss, and it's definitely not Cake Gate if you're following the Cake Gate over on TikTok. So I like to chill my cakes first. It really does help. You definitely don't want to put the frosting on a warm cake. And you can do so many different things with bundt cakes. I really like bundt cake. I think it's easy to serve. So you just put it on. I'm just using this good old-fashioned spatula. Just gonna put it in. And I don't really like a lot of frosting. Let me know in the comments, are you a frosting person or not a lot? You could even make a nice ganache to pour it over the top. I made my own turntable here just by putting a book underneath my little platter here. You don't have to have fancy tools at home to bake lovely things for your own family. And it definitely doesn't have to be perfect. I can tell you some of my most favorite memories were baking cakes for my kids when they weren't perfect, but what was perfect was the love that was around them. And for me, I love being able to bake for my family. Food is definitely one of my love languages. And it took me 7 years to transition from standard American diet, SAD diet, to a more live lifestyle. And so I've always loved cake. And I can make a raw food cake as well. But on this channel, Holistic Yoga, I want to show you how you can take standard items and make them just a little bit healthier. For me, it's about making small steps, gradual steps, to an overall healthy lifestyle. Have you ever done something and you've gone totally like from right side of the pendulum to the left side of the pendulum, changed your habits greatly, but it didn't stick? Maybe you did something super radical and it didn't stick. And so for me, it's about having a sustainable lifestyle. And when I made this cake for my party, everyone loved it. There was meat eaters. The whole party was vegan and gluten-free. Not all the people, but everything that I served was. And what's funny about when I serve food at my parties, people always comment on how good my food is, and it's always vegan and gluten-free. I've never once had a party and someone say that they didn't like the food, or there wasn't enough food, or they didn't feel like they got full. That's like my biggest fear, is running out of food for one of my parties that I host. So I'm just gonna let it be kind of messy like that. I actually kind of like it. Looks really pretty. And I also have some raspberries and strawberries here. So when you cut your cake, if you wanna put raspberries or strawberries on each slice, it's really yummy that way. Or you can even decorate the top, or you can even, like if I was gonna serve all of this cake tonight, I'm not gonna pour anything in the center because this cake will last my daughter and her friends and I at least a few days. But if I was gonna serve this tonight, you could even take the raspberries or the strawberries and put it right in there in the center. Hey, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about this recipe, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you stay up to date for when I post my next video. And be sure to post in the comments if you have any questions or any recipe ideas or suggestions that you would like for me to make. I already have some other people that have suggested some of my past recipes that I've made for them that I'm gonna be sharing in the future, so be sure to stay tuned in, and I look forward to seeing you in the kitchen next time. Namaste at the pole.